I'll start with you, Liam. Obviously, big game, 5 goals, and I guess what I find most interesting, you play defense
Yeah.
in Junior A, and yet you were showing some great offensive skills out there. What kind of player do you want to be moving forward?
I think personally, I just want to be what my coaches kind of want me to be. I feel confident playing on both sides of the floor, and I hope any team that really sees that in me will be able to put me one way or the other. I don't really, obviously, playing D in Orangeville and stuff like that, I was excited to get that opportunity. And then later on, towards the end, like right before we came here, Jeff Dowling messaged me and said, "How do you feel about playing offense?" So obviously stepped up and said, "Yeah, like I definitely want to do that," and ran with it, and wound up having a good night tonight.
Excellent, yeah, for sure. And Landon, how about you? What would you like this tournament to springboard? How would you like this to help you in your next stage of lacrosse?
Obviously, there's some good players on the other team, and I just want to show that I play well and match up well against them every night, that I'm on the floor, and that I can play at a high level lacrosse, and that I can show to other teams that may be watching that I'm here, and I'm here to stay, and I'm here to stop the ball, and that's what I'm good at.
Excellent, very good. Sam?
The experience, I mean, some of you guys have been together and you do know each other a lot, but what was the experience like to come together as this team during this week? Because we saw, I think, through the week a lot of development of relationships.
Yeah, obviously, I know me and Tanner Buck were talking about it. I've played against him my whole life, and I've never got to play on the same team as him. So it was nice playing against these guys that usually on any other night might burn you for a couple. So it was nice finally having them on your side. But, it was just a big group out there. Like, we're all one group. We're all a family. And, you go out for dinner, and some nights you'd have different guys, right? So, like, we were all gelling very well together, and we worked well and showed on the floor.
And was that kind of a conscious thing, having different guys, or is it just kind of the way things roll?
I guess I can probably touch on
Yeah.
that a bit. I've definitely thought that like everyone kind of mixed in fairly well. I don't think anyone was making like an avid effort to make sure like, oh, we need to have different guys here all the time, but everyone just got along really well. A lot of us wound up playing against each other for the 2 weekends we were playing in Ontario in the Junior A League out there, so it was nice to kind of couple guys that maybe you're like, oh, like I don't know about this guy, and then you get to play with them, and everyone got along really well. But I think we had a great group of guys on this team, and everyone really gelled well together.
You mentioned, you both played. Did you play all 8 games? I think you both played all 8 games, right?
Yeah.
In the WJLL mini season. How did it feel coming out of that and then coming back to play? I know a lot of people were banged up. I know a lot of people were tired after, no lacrosse for a long time. Then boom, a lot.
Yeah, obviously getting thrown right back into it, it's a lot on the body, but it's all about how you prepare for the games and post-games. So things such as ice baths, working out, those parts that are sore, whether it be with a roll or stuff like that, getting prepared for the games was a big step. And then rest on top of that, making sure you're going to bed at a decent time and ready for the next day and ready to compete every time you're on the floor.
You pretty much sum most of that up for me as well. Yeah, I think a lot of guys were super banged up. Like I know myself, I was really feeling it after. I was playing a bit in Nova Scotia when I was at home, but the intensity level playing in Ontario and just the pace and everything is pretty uncomparable in my opinion to most junior leagues. So I was definitely pretty banged up coming out of there, and then to come here and go practice game, exhibition game, 3 games all in a row, it definitely took a toll on us. But I think a lot of guys did a good job taking care of ourselves.
You're pretty unique here, Liam, being from Halifax or Nova Scotia. What does this mean for lacrosse in Nova Scotia? Are people back there watching and paying attention to what you're doing? I mean, coming playing junior in Ontario, but then playing at this level as well.
I hope so. I mean, I know there's a lot of talent in Nova Scotia that a lot of guys unfortunately just don't get the chance and the opportunity to really step to the next level. There's a lot of guys that make the jump to Ontario and try to play junior there. Some stick, some don't. But there's a couple guys in front of me, obviously, guys of Alex Pace, Brett Draper, that whenever I've really talked about being from that side of Canada, that get brought up a lot, that are kind of paving the way for me as another guy to kind of follow in their footsteps and try to get into the NLL. But I hope there's people, at home that see what I'm doing here, and hope that there's young guys looking at that and can take that and run with it themselves.
Excellent.
Let's go! Let's go!
Hariri, baby!
Hariri.
Let's go!